Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you, my wonderful friends-in-law. Thank you so much for joining me today. For those of you who do not know who I am, my name is Kamvako Binga, and I am your trusted legal counsel, originally from Cape Town, but currently practicing in Johannesburg. All right, ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to be continuing from the previous video. So this is just a continuation. If you recall, we spoke about, or we are still talking about, in community of property, particularly insofar as your assets are concerned. Remember what we said the general rule is. It is that you share the liabilities, you share the assets. Your assets and liabilities, debts, form part of the joint estate. But we did say in the previous video that there are exceptions to the rule. We have already mentioned the two exceptions. Today we're going to delve deep into, well, maybe not too deep. If you remember, I always say I can't say everything in my videos, ladies and gentlemen. It's very important for me to sit down with the client and try to make them understand if there is anything that they don't understand or if they need clarity on certain issues. All right. So let's get into the third exception. What is the exception? Let's go back. So there are exceptions. In other words, there are certain assets that may be excluded from forming part of the joint estate in the event where you are married in community of property. Remember, in community of property, joint estate. Always. In community of property, communal estate. Same story. Okay? So, the third exclusion is your insurance payout. There are certain, not all, there are certain insurance payouts, okay, that will be excluded from forming part of the joint estate. Hypothetically speaking, let's assume that you were involved in a motor vehicle accident. You then receive a substantial insurance payout for the injuries that you have sustained. Ladies and gentlemen, that is not going to form part of the joint estate. That is not going to form part of the communal property, because that is the pain, that is the suffering that you have sustained, and therefore we look at that compensation as a personal compensation and not necessarily as an asset accumulation in the joint or for purposes of the joint estate.